According to Garza's secret recording, Bali mocked Campbell's soups as shit for poor people, dismissed them as highly processed food, claimed the chicken was fake or bioengineered, and made racist remarks about Indian employees. Among the most explosive claims in Garza's recording was Bali's description of Campbell's chicken as bioengineered meat from a 3D printer. For more than 150 years, Campbell's soup has been a fixture in American kitchens. Founded in 1869 in Camden, New Jersey by fruit merchant Joseph A. Campbell and icebox maker Abraham Anderson, the company began by producing canned fruits and vegetables. The turning point came in 1897, when chemist John T. Dorrance invented condensed soup, a breakthrough that reduced shipping costs, extended shelf life, and made hot meals affordable for millions. From the Great Depression, when Campbell's soups became a nutritional lifeline, to World War II, when the company supplied troops, Campbell's embedded itself in American life. By the 1960s, it had become a cultural icon, immortalized in Andy Warhol's 1962 pop art series, which elevated the red and white can into a symbol of mass consumerism. Advertising reinforced this identity. The Campbell's Kids, created in 1904 by illustrator Grace Drayton, charmed generations with cherubic faces urging families to eat your vegetables. Later campaigns from snowmen melting into children after a bowl of tomato soup to holiday casseroles tied Campbell's to nostalgia, warmth, and family rituals. But in 2024 to 2025, that wholesome image collided with scandal. Cybersecurity analyst Robert Garza, who was hired in September of 2024, met with Campbell's vice president and chief information security officer Martin Bali in November to discuss his salary. Instead, Garza says he endured an hour-long tirade. According to Garza's secret recording, Bali mocked Campbell's soups as shit for poor people, dismissed them as highly processed food, claimed the chicken was fake or bioengineered, and made racist remarks about Indian employees. Among the most explosive claims in Garza's recording was Bali's description of Campbell's chicken as bioengineered meat from a 3D printer. Though Campbell's has flatly denied ever using 3D printed or lab-grown meat, the remark went viral. Moist Critical even made a video about it, and social media lit up with accusations of fake chicken, and within days, Campbell's stock dipped more than 3%. The controversy even drew the attention of regulators in Florida, where lab-grown meat is banned. The Attorney General announced a preliminary inquiry into whether Campbell's products complied with state law. Garza also alleged Bali bragged about consuming marijuana edibles before work. Garza reported the incident to his manager. Weeks later, he was fired. In November 2025, he filed suit in Wayne County Circuit Court, Michigan, alleging retaliation, harassment, and discrimination. The case Garza versus Campbell Soup Company now demands the release of the full recording, HR files, and depositions. Campbell's responded by placing Bali on leave and calling the claims about fake chicken patently absurd, insisting they don't reflect company values. The timeline is damning. In September of 2024, Garza is hired. In November of 2024, meeting with Bali recording made. In December of 2024, Garza is fired weeks after reporting. In November of 2025, a lawsuit filed. Bali placed on leave. Employee morale has reportedly plummeted. Workers in Camden, where Campbell's roots run deep, expressed outrage that leadership would belittle the very products they produce. Customers also voiced betrayal. Social media posts show longtime buyers vowing to boycott, saying Campbell's soups were part of their childhood, but now feel tainted by arrogance. The scandal comes amid leadership changes. Mark Klaus, CEO since 2019, retired in late 2024 to join the NFL's Washington Commanders. He was succeeded by Mick Bickerson as CEO in February 2025. The timing means Campbell's new leadership inherited a crisis that threatens decades of brand equity. Industry analysts warn that reputational damage in the food sector can be lasting. Looking at other company scandals, Domino's Pizza nearly collapsed after a 2009 food tampering video. Subway struggled for years after its yoga mat bread controversy. Jack in the Box's 1993 E. coli outbreak killed 4 children and forced sweeping food safety reforms. In each case, consumer trust evaporated overnight. Campbell's now faces the same risk. If mishandled, competitors like Progresso or private label soups could seize market share. At its core, the Campbell's soup scandal is about more than canned food. It's about corporate accountability and the cost of forgetting who your customers are. For generations, Campbell's promised comfort and care. Now, the brand must prove it still values the workers who make its soups and the families who rely on them. The days ahead will decide whether Campbell's remains an American icon or becomes another cautionary tale studied in business schools. Remembered not for their slogan in history, but for arrogance, scandal, and betrayal. Financial fallout and industry context. The scandal hit at a time when Campbell's was already navigating financial turbulence. In fiscal year 2025, Campbell's reported net sales of $10.3 billion, a 6% increase, largely driven by its $2.9 billion acquisition of Sovos Brands, the parent company of Rouse pasta sauces. That acquisition was meant to push Campbell's into premium categories, with Rouse becoming a standout growth driver. Yet beneath the headline growth, organic sales actually fell 1%, showing weakness in Campbell's core soup and snacks business. Earnings before interest and taxes rose to $1.1 billion, but adjusted earnings per share slipped 4% to $2.97, reflecting margin pressures and impairment charges. Campbell's Snacks division, which includes Pepperidge Farm and Snyder's of Hanover, struggled with slower recovery, forcing CEO Mick Beckesson to warn investors that adjusted earnings would land at the low end of guidance. Tariff costs added further headwinds, shaving up to 5 cents per share. Despite these challenges, Campbell's maintained its reputation as a dividend stalwart, returning $521 million to shareholders in 2025, including $459 million in dividends. But analysts noted that reputational damage from the scandal could erode consumer trust, especially in the core soup segment that anchors the brand. Crisis management and PR lessons. The scandal underscores how fragile brand equity can be in the age of social media. Campbell's faced headlines across North America after Bally's alleged remarks were revealed, with CBC News reporting that he called Campbell's products shit for effing poor people. Industry commentators warned that such comments, when leaked, can undo decades of advertising and cultural goodwill. PR experts point to parallels such as Domino's Pizza in 2009. A viral food tampering video forced a direct CEO apology. Subway in 2014. The yoga mat bread controversy which lingered for years. Jack in the Box in 1993, with an E. coli outbreak that killed 4 children and reshaped food safety standards. For Campbell's, the lesson is clear: transparency, accountability, and culture change are essential. Analysts caution that retaliation against whistleblowers often resonates more negatively with juries and the public than the original misconduct. If Campbell's mishandles Garza's case, competitors like Progresso could seize market share, positioning themselves as the trustworthy alternative. The stakes ahead. Campbell's now stands at a crossroads. Financially, it has bolstered its portfolio with premium brands like Rouse, but its core soups face declining trust. Culturally, it must prove that the values it markets, comfort, care, and family, are more than slogans. Legally, the Garza case will test its commitment to whistleblower protections and workplace respect. For a company that has survived wars, depressions, and shifting consumer tastes, the scandal is not just a bump in the road. It is a defining test of whether Campbell's can remain an American icon, or whether its red and white cans will become symbols of corporate arrogance. The next chapters will be written not just in court filings and earnings reports, but in kitchens across America, where families decide whether Campbell's still belongs on their shelves. Are you a soup lover? How do you feel about eating bioengineered meat from a 3D printer? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, please throw me a thumb. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please consider subscribing. Hope to see y'all in the next one.